Before I start this episode of our Grow It campaign, I want to say a quick thank you to the episode sponsors. They are Wealthify and Fidelity. I'm going to say a quick bit about each proposition, so make sure you listen to them. Do remember that with investing, your capital is at risk, so the value of your investments can go down as well as up, which means you may get back less than you invest. That is relevant to each of the propositions I'm going to talk about. First up, Wealthify is a multi-award-winning online and app-based investment service founded in 2016 and backed by Aviva, with a simple mission to make investing accessible to everyone. You can invest from as little as £1, £50 for pensions. Wealthify has a simple yet competitive annual management fee. Investment costs also apply, and offers a number of investment products, including a stocks and shares ISA, a general investment account, a personal pension, and a junior ISA. Within each of those, you can invest in a range of managed portfolios with varying risk profiles and even ethical portfolios. For more information about Wealthify, including how to take advantage of our £100 cashback offer, please visit wealthify.com/MTTM. New customers only. Offer ends midday on the 28th of April 2023. T's and C's apply. Now, Wealthify does not offer advice. If you're not sure whether investing is right for you, then please speak to a financial advisor. Wealthify is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to our Grow It series sponsor, Fidelity International. Whether you're just starting out or an experienced investor, Fidelity offers a wide range of investment options with plenty of information, tools, and guidance to help you make more of your money and achieve your financial goals. For more information about Fidelity, please visit fidelity.co.uk/money to the masses. Before I start this episode of the Grow It campaign, just remember, if you enjoy any of it, find it useful, please make sure you hit that like button, but also please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Now, up to this point in the Grow It campaign, you've learned about growing your own wealth, but in the final 2 episodes of this series, I want to shift the focus away from growing your own wealth and discuss the difference you can make to future generations by investing even a small amount each month. In this episode, I'm going to focus on investing for children and the concept of intergenerational wealth. Now, the reason why investing for children has been left till this part of the series is because you can only plan for their future if you've already planned for your own. So it's the financial plan equivalent of putting on your own oxygen mask first during a plane emergency before turning to help children, as we've been instructed in every pre-flight safety briefing. So first of all, I'm going to start with the why you might want to invest for your children before moving on to the how, just as I did earlier in the series when teaching you about growing your own wealth. So why might you want to invest for your children? The reality is that most of the reasons why you might want to start investing for your children's future are the same as why you would invest for your own, but by investing early for your children, you can give them a head start in achieving financial independence and security when they are adults. Now, investing early for your children gives them the benefit of time, and their investment returns can benefit from the power of compounding to a much greater extent, resulting in exponential growth over time. Now, as their investments have more time to grow and ride the market ups and downs, it can lead to significant returns over the long term. Now, investing for children can also be a way to build a legacy. By investing in assets that can appreciate over time, you can pass down wealth to future generations. This can provide financial security for your children and their children and create a lasting impact on your family's financial future. This is where intergenerational wealth comes in. Now, intergenerational wealth refers to the transfer of wealth from one generation to the next within a family, often in the form of assets. Now, intergenerational wealth is a powerful tool for providing a financial safety net for a family and help fund education and career opportunities for its members and support the growth of businesses and other ventures. Now, if you really want to understand the power of intergenerational wealth, then you just need to look at the most powerful and influential people in the world today. Now, many of them, including world leaders, are only in positions of power thanks to the wealth they've inherited. By contrast, other sections of the population who do not benefit from intergenerational wealth are often underrepresented. As such, intergenerational wealth can have both positive and negative impacts on families and society, but it can be used to help break the cycle of poverty and provide funds for education, entrepreneurship, and other opportunities. Now, the most popular podcast we've ever produced is called How to Become a Millionaire, which I've linked to in the notes of this episode. And the feedback that we got after that episode was amazing, especially when some of you wrote in to say that the show would be life-changing for your children. In that episode, I highlighted how by being disciplined and committed to regular investing small amounts of money over the long term, you could set your child on a path to become a millionaire by the time they reach retirement age. So, for example, by starting out and investing as little as £25 a month for a 5-year-old today, they could be a millionaire by the time they retire. And by millionaire, I mean a millionaire in today's money, which would mean that they'd actually have more than £3 million invested in what they call nominal terms by the time that they retired. So that would mean that you take into account inflation and its ravishing effects, it would be worth £1 million in today's money. Now, if you are interested in learning more about the concept, then listen to the Millionaire episode, which we've linked to in the notes of this episode. But investing for children doesn't have to be just about making them financially secure. You could instead be interested in investing to fund their future education costs. Perhaps they might be going to university, hopefully one day, or maybe they want to buy a house in the future. Whatever the reason, by investing early and taking advantage of compounding, you can help your children achieve long-term financial security, protect against inflation, and create a lasting legacy. So, onto the how do you invest for your children or grandchildren. Now, before we get into investing, there is, of course, the option of putting money into a children's savings account. Now, many of the banks and building societies out there offer savings accounts specifically for children, providing often preferential interest rates for the first 12 months, or they are paid on balances up to a certain limit. Now, accounts will have to be opened by somebody with parental responsibility if the child is below a certain age, which differs between providers. Now, opening this type of savings account is really pretty simple, and the funds can be accessed at any time. Now, children over 7 can usually manage their savings account themselves and even take money out and put money in depending on the account. Now, while you can get some pretty attractive interest rates, it's unlikely that they will exceed the rate of inflation over the long term. So the real value, the purchasing power of that money will be eroded over time. Not only that, many of the top interest rate accounts will limit the amount you can pay into the account each month and enjoy that high interest rate. Now, in the notes of this episode, I provide a link to our weekly updated best buy tables of children's bank accounts on the Money to Masses website. So that leads us nicely onto junior ISA. So a junior ISA, or a JISA for short, is a long-term tax-free savings account for children, and contributions can be made up to an annual limit of £9,000 a tax year. That's the current limit as I make this. Now, think of a junior ISA as an ISA but for children. So you can largely get the concept given that you've listened to the other episodes in this series already. Parents or guardians with parental responsibility can open a JISA and manage the account, but the money belongs to the child. Now, anybody can contribute to the junior ISA, which means it's perfect for family and friends to give money into over time. Now, the child can take control of the account when they reach the age of 16, but they can't withdraw the money until they reach the age of 18. Now, there are two types of junior ISA. There's the cash junior ISA, which is essentially a savings account, but where all the returns are tax-free. Then you have the stocks and shares junior ISA, where you can invest in stocks and shares, bonds, or a host of assets via funds. Now, all the capital growth and dividends you receive will be totally tax-free. So pretty much everything you've learned up until now that you can do to grow your wealth via a stocks and shares ISA, you can do for your child via a junior ISA. So that means it's possible to pick a ready-made junior ISA portfolio from someone like Wealthify, who will manage the investments for you, or you could use an investment platform like Fidelity International to build your own portfolio of funds, just as I explained in episode 6 of this Grow It series. Now, one recent positive development in this space has been that some platforms like Fidelity International no longer charge a platform fee for administering a child's junior ISA. So you simply pay the cost of the underlying investments you choose. So if they're funds, you pay the cost of those funds, and that is it. For more information on the best junior cash ISA rates, as well as the best stocks and shares junior ISAs out there, then you should read our article, The Best Junior Stocks and Shares ISAs, or watch the associated video, both of which are linked to in the notes of this video. Obviously, ISAs have the tax-free benefits of a normal ISA, so they are very attractive, as well as contribution limits. And of course, you can invest in them in pretty much the same way as you can your own stocks and shares ISA. So they are attractive from that point of view. But one drawback is that the child does gain access to the funds at the age of 18. Now, I say that's a drawback. For many people, it won't be. But for some people who are wanting more control, they may not want their child to get access at age 18 because they get access without any consent required. So it's something worth bearing in mind. If that control is important to you, then you could try something else. Like, for example, you could invest using your own stocks and shares ISA, so the investments are yours all the time. But then when the child gets to age 18, you could decide, for example, to gift some money to them. Now, of course, that's going to have potential implications from IHT perspectives, depending on how much you gift. But then that is giving you this flexibility that you might decide to change your mind and not gift them the money at age 18. It's up to you. But moving on, I will briefly mention child trust funds. They are pretty much the precursors to junior ISAs. So CTFs, as they are widely known, they're no longer available, but you can still contribute up to £9,000 a year into one if it already exists. And the money belongs to the child in the same way as they do with junior ISAs, and they get access to it once they reach age 18. They can take control of the account and manage it from age 16. Now, again, like junior ISAs, there's no tax to pay on income or capital growth. Now, the difference between the two is CTFs were the precursor, and there was an incentive from the government at the time by a sort of monetary bonus to open them, but they are things of the past. But many people have moved their CTFs into junior ISAs subsequently. Now, it is possible to lock money away for even longer than just when your child turns 18 if you want to. And you could do this by opening up a junior SIP, so it's junior self-invested personal pension. Now, while on the face of it, starting a pension for a child may appear a bit premature, the long investment period and the fact that they can't access the pension fund until they are age 55 could make it a long-term attractive investment option. Now, up until the age of 18, a junior SIP is managed by a parent or legal guardian, and the investment decisions will be made by them. Now, investments of up to £2,880 a year can be paid into the junior SIP with tax relief on top of that of 20% added to the investment. Now, just like an adult pension, you can choose to invest the money within the junior SIP in a similar way, but unfortunately there aren't many junior SIPs out there. So we've produced an article that compares the best and cheapest junior SIPs out there, which I've linked to in the notes of this episode, where you can see that comparison and look for yourself if you are interested. Now, I'm going to finish off with mentioning National Savings and Investments premium bonds. So premium bonds can be bought for children, and it is a popular option. It's neither investing and it's not the same as putting money into a savings account. Now, buying premium bonds for children has been a popular option for family members, and holders of premium bonds are actually entered into a monthly prize draw, giving them the opportunity to win between £25 and £1 million tax-free. Now, unlike other savings accounts, premium bonds don't actually pay you any interest. You only make money if you win a prize, and that prize is tax-free. Now, premium bonds can be a good idea for, let's say, a one-off small gift of something like £25. But if you're looking to build a worthwhile lump sum, then you've got to consider the impact of inflation over the long term. Now, anyone can buy premium bonds on behalf of a child, but they must nominate a parent or guardian to look after the bonds until the child reaches the age of 16. And they must also nominate to have any prizes reinvested in more premium bonds. Now, the reason I mention about inflation, because you don't actually earn interest, you just get prize money if you're fortunate enough. The overall current prize pot equates to a notional interest rate of 3.3%, which is way below the current rate of inflation. So there are plenty of options for starting to invest for your children and even for family members to contribute to. Now, the important thing to take away is that you can invest small amounts cost effectively, but consistently contributing over the long term, which also allows you to take on a bit more investment risk, can produce life-changing results. So the next thing I want you to do is go and listen to that episode of the Money to Masses podcast, which is linked to in the notes of this video, as I think you'll find it very, very engaging and interesting. If you enjoyed this in any way, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And we've got one more video left in this Grow It series to look forward to.